G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another NBA 2K25 Play Now Online match. And by the title you can tell that this game and this video we're going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. Now I wasn't planning on using the Bucks at first, as you'll see here in a second with the matchmaking, but my opponent chose a tier 1 team and I didn't really want to rock out with a tier 3 or even a tier 2 team. I wanted to use, a team that matches up well, and that's why I went with the Bucks. But you see there, my opponent's 24-11 at this stage, so I was afraid I was gonna take my first loss here. As you see, I'm 5-0, although I'm actually 4-0. I think someone quit out at the matchmaking menu, and it gives you a win even for that, so that's weird. Yeah, my opponent chose the Suns, so I went ahead and chose the Bucks. A bit of Giannis v Durant again, much like when Durant was in Brooklyn there. So that'll be a good matchup, and they should be guarding each other too. But yeah, Suns I feel like is the most popular team, especially the one that I play against the most. I mean, I know they got the likes of Booker, Durant, and Beal, but I think everyone just wants to use Durant, to be honest. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, because they've kind of gone under the radar a little bit, I feel like, in the off-season, just due to the fact that no one really expects them to win the East anymore. But they are a bit of a sleeper team, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, I love the off-season they've had. Just a few of their minimum signings I think could really pay off, with the likes of Gary Trent Jr., who they got in a minimum contract, Taurean Prince on a minimum contract, and I think DeLon Wright was the other one who's also on a minimum contract, because I can see Gary Trent starting for them next to Dame, and that was when Trent was playing his best back in Portland, playing with Dame, so he might be able to tap into that again and have a big year, especially if he wants to get paid, because he went from, like, I think 20 odd million a year down to a minimum contract. So he's going to be betting on himself and he'll be looking to put up numbers. And he's basically got the perfect role where he'll just be able to stand in the corner and just knock down open threes. But he will probably have to take the hardest defensive assignment, so that's going to be tough on him. But that can pay off as well if he performs well. He'll definitely have some offers coming next year if he performs well. Yeah, as we go through the roster, I feel like their starting five is a great starting five if they're all healthy. I mean, they've got Dame, Trent, Middleton, Giannis, and then Brook with six-man Bobby Portis off the bench, although I decided to start him in this one. I thought he'd be a good matchup for Nurk. But the reason that people are so down on them are just because Giannis is always injured come playoff time. I think the past 3 years he's been injured. And even when he has played, he's been playing through injury. So he just needs to get healthy at the right time. And that's kind of a big deal, because there's rumors of him asking out if things don't go to plan this year. And then the likes of Doc Rivers coaching, I mean, I'm not Doc's biggest fan at all. I think he's very overrated. But so I don't really blame people for not thinking they can win it all. But I mean, if he does win it all with his team, it'd be a job well done. But he has a great squad. It's just going to come down to health again, and they're getting older every single year. I mean, Dame's like 34, I think. Brook Lopez is around the same. He might even be older. And then Middleton is in his 30s, and he's coming off 2 ankle surgeries apparently in the off season, so that's going to be very hard for him to come back from and play well, because he actually was playing pretty decently in the playoffs last year. He just wasn't playing a whole lot, but he was definitely making the most of his time out there, so hopefully he can get his body right. And then same with Giannis as well, and then they're going to have a lethal combo, because they want to make sure that Drew Holiday trade works out, because you can already, a lot of people didn't like it at the time, and it was proven to be correct, because Drew went straight to the Celtics and won a championship. But I don't totally blame them for changing it up, because I did see him a bit stagnant, but I think that was just because of health again. Like, I don't think they really got a chance to run it back fully healthy. I mean, I think they might have against Miami when they got beat as the 1 seed, but I still think I would have ran it back and just trusted in the guys that had won it for him previously. Yeah, getting to the bench, obviously they struggle a little bit with depth, but as I said, bringing in Trent, DeLon Wright, and Taurean Prince, they're all can be rotation players. You just don't want to be playing them too much, I think, especially Prince and Wright, because Prince was just not a good fit on the Lakers, but for Milwaukee, I think he fits in a bit better there. And obviously not as much pressure when you're not in LA with people watching everything you do. But I'm doing pretty well in this game so far, currently up 10-4. Still having a little bit of trouble shooting, but I think this game, you'll see shortly, I actually shoot the ball decently, but I've never missed so many free throws in a 2K in my life. But to be fair, this is online, so there's obviously a lot of latency for me down here in Australia. Internet's not the greatest, and I have to just deal with it. And I mean, we're still winning, still having a decent time, so can't complain too much. But yeah, those are basically my thoughts for Milwaukee. If I did have to predict, I think I'd have them, let's see, in the regular season. They're a bit of an older team, so I can see them maybe finishing around the 4th or 5th seed, I think. And it'll just depend on matchups because they don't want to be dropping any further down the seeding. But obviously for them, it all comes down to the playoffs, and they've got to win it all basically to keep Giannis happy and make sure he doesn't ask out. But if I had to guess, I'd say 4th seed. And I'd probably say, 49 wins, 33 losses, or 50 and 32, somewhere around the 50 mark, maybe just below, just above. But those are my predictions. Giannis is still an absolute beast, still a chance to win MVP, but I just don't think he plays enough now. And that the fact that he's already, won 2, I think that also plays into the fact that he probably won't win a 3rd. And he's getting older as well. He's coming into his 30th year, so you would say his prime, but the fact that he's already had injury troubles, you got to worry that that's just going to get worse as he ages. As my opponent brings in Bol Bol and goes to work with him, and they currently cut the deficit to 4 now. Yeah, those are my thoughts on the Bucks. I don't think I'm going to pick them to win the chip. As I said in my last video, I think it's going to be, pretty boring prediction, but Boston v OKC, that's how I see it. And Milwaukee will probably be a 1st or 2nd round exit, I think. And who knows, if that happens, all hell will hit the fan with Giannis probably asking out. Doc Rivers might get fired, you never know. And then Dame might not be happy anymore because I feel like he's only going to be happy there while they have Giannis and they're competing to win. And if Giannis asks out, Dame's going to want out too. But yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. And I'll just be talking over the gameplay for the rest of this one. But yeah, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on just the gameplay or the Bucks, and let me know some of your NBA predictions for the upcoming season and what teams I should use in future videos. I have stocked up with a few videos for the future, just a few more gameplays just with different teams, because I'm going to be trying to play a game with every single team, even if I do take a couple of ugly losses later on, because most of my opponents are going to be rocking with tier 1 teams, and I'm going to have to deal with that as I am going to try and use all the teams. But you see that we get a good pass to Middleton there in the mid-range. And Dame's a player who I've loved using with in past 2Ks. I feel like his jumper's just nice. But I think in this game, I actually shot the ball pretty decently with Gary Trent Jr. and his little release. Although obviously they're going to be wide open shots because I'm not going to be ISOing with Gary Trent or anything. We take the lead now, 17-8. Dame brings it up the court, gets it back, pulls up for the little midi, and I didn't time that correctly at all. And he cherry picks with Monte Morris, passes it inside to Beal, kicks it back out to Morris. I give him the open 3, and he's timed that absolutely horribly. Not sure if he wanted to shoot that or pump fake. And for some reason, he intentionally fouls me there, a bit of a frustration foul. And Dame will go to the line and actually made a free throw, didn't green it, but we get lucky there with the white, because I think most people play on normal risk from what I've been seeing online. And I think that's the way to go, especially in play now where you're using a whole array of different jump shots, and it's just going to be tough to time every single one correctly. But we find Middleton wide open for 3, and he actually manages to hit the white as well. So I do feel like I'm on normal risk if a white's going in like that. And this guy's playing like a locomotive at the moment, just rushing and throwing it ahead. But he's caught an ISO for Durant, and Durant's probably the hardest guy to stop on the game, I feel like, at the moment. And he goes inside and makes the easy layup. I find that rim running's still pretty OP, and it's just hard to stop any layup as well. Because I don't know if you can play with real player percentage for layups or not. I know that I've got timing on. I don't know if that's the way to go, but that's what I have. So we kick it in the corner to Beauchamp, and Beauchamp knocks down the 3 from the corner. Good pass by Dame, and I actually get a green, so let's go. Gives it ahead to Bol Bol, and I reach him with Bobby Portis there and foul. Bol Bol, I was really hoping he was going to do some things in Denver, as I am a Nuggets fan. I got excited when we drafted him. I think we might have even traded up to get him. but just didn't pan out. He's definitely got quite good skills and obviously the build to play good basketball, but I think he just lacks the work ethic or the intensity to be an NBA player. But you never know, he can still come good. He's still pretty young. As he's open there with him, tries to drive in and I just reach and steal that away from him. And Beauchamp brings it up now with a little hezzy. Finds Gary Trent Jr., kicks it to Dame. Dame from the corner. And it goes in. He knocks down a White. So I don't know if they've buffed the shooting or what's going on, because I'm getting blessed right now. As we go up by 17. And I feel like if we do much more damage, he's going to quit. As he does a baseline spin with Bol, but I rip it again. But it goes out as it's his ball. And if he gives it to Bol, I'm just gonna reach. I mean, I've got to miss. He's got the mismatch on me, so I've just got to try to steal the ball before he does damage. As he gets open off the inbound there through Devin Booker, and Booker greens it. As we get it to Chris Middleton here, what's he gonna do? I'm gonna call a little play for Dame, try to get him open. But he reads it with Plumlee. I go in. I don't really know what I'm doing here. As Bobby Portis kicks it to Dame, call for a little pick and roll. Don't have much on here, and this possession has gone horribly wrong, as I'm just going to have to throw something ugly up here, and Gary Trent Jr. throws up a little slightly early and it doesn't go in. But Devin Booker now goes at Dame. Looks like he's caught an ISO here. Can Dame steal the ball? Am I going to reach? No, just play hard physical defense. We get the switch. Dame with the steal, tips it to Portis. We get it to Trent Jr. to Middleton. Middleton goes in and one. Over Grayson Allen. And that's all she wrote as we dominate the Phoenix Suns. We get another win, and we're still currently undefeated in Play Now Online, which is nice. Won't last for too much longer, I'd think. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. And make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.